I should open this review by stating simply, Ghost in the Shell is an undeniably challenging story to adapt. Not only does it deal with concepts as complicated and as contentious as evolution, identity, and the human soul, it also does so in a way that doesn't necessarily appeal to a mainstream Western audience, more often than not just dropping hints at the questions, much less spelling out the answers. And so the way that Mamoru Oshii's 1995 anime boldly dove into those murky waters, its narrative and visual palette somehow clearing them for us, was truly an outstanding achievement. Flashing forwards 22 years to Rupert Sanders' adaptation of that now classic film, one that's inspired many in the genre, I couldn't help but be, even just a little bit, excited. The technology alone that's advanced in the intervening years not only had the potential to make the visuals all the more impressive, but more importantly still allow for an even more timely, more confronting exploration of the film's themes. I was even excited to hear that this would be a slightly looser adaptation of the 95 anime and the 89 manga, hoping that that would allow a different filmmaker to bravely enter those old waters and implement a new vision to bring some fresh clarity to them. And indeed, in this film, we did see Sanders in a few different areas doing just that. One of the clearest alterations being his handling of the character of Major, played by Scarlett Johansson. As it was in the anime, her completely synthetic body was no longer the product of her own choosing, but this unrequested shell that had been designed without her consent to save her life after an accident. And again, I didn't really mind that adjustment. Conceptually anyways, it allowed for some of the exact same explorations into how much one's natural body defines their identity. The approach also lent some helpful propulsion to the narrative, the character now desperate to solve the mystery of what really happened to her and who she was before the accident. Additionally, it made way for new characters like Dr. Owlette, who was this decently compelling mother figure to the Major, which again allowed us the viewer to reflect on our own maternal relationships and just how much of our parents' literal and figurative DNA defines our being. There was something compelling too about having the lead character unable to trust her own memories, an idea that the anime explored as well, but only briefly with their peripheral characters. If our identity is built upon the experiences that we've had and our recollection of them, and all of that is malleable by an outside force, who then are we? If Owlette was meant to be seen as the Major's mother, then the character of Aramaki might have been intended to be seen as her father. Takeshi Kitano was outstanding in this role, having such a natural gravitas, and presented in epic shot after epic shot that just announced his skill and dominance. And speaking of epic shots, the lighting, the color, the design, the locations were almost universally just an absolute treat to behold in this film. I would contend that even while Rupert Sanders frequently imitated the anime down to the framing of many of the shots, the visual style of his film did feel crafted by someone with a unique and equally passionate voice. Watching both this film and Sanders' Snow White and the Huntsman, it's clear that the man is a design aficionado, and that makes his films frequently fun and regularly awe-inspiring to look at. Unfortunately, it's there in those visuals that this film's greatest triumphs remain. If Mamoru Oshii was obsessed with using this film to explore the ghost of this narrative, then Rupert Sanders was more or less satisfied just using it to explore its shell. And even while in translating a Japanese anime into an American live-action film that was at least partially unavoidable, the patient, methodical, lyrical, almost dreamlike way that Mamoru Oshii paced his film just fits so well with this story's themes and ideas. He never strove to infuse this film with heightened emotion through dynamic character animation or overly emotive vocal performances. Instead, he trusted the simple juxtaposing of images to communicate desire, sadness, anger, and elation. By contrast, primarily interested in using his visuals to elect the emotion of "ooh, that's cool," Sanders leaned into his actors and dialogue to carry the rest of his film's emotional complexity, which may have worked fine had he had a more complex script. Unfortunately, the screenwriters too often combine the narrative simplicity of an 82-minute anime with the emotional earnestness and angst of a 2-hour drama, making that emotion often feel unearned and cloying. Connected to that, even while new characters like Owlette were enjoyable, they also unhelpfully stole time away from Batou and Major and Kuz and Major, characters that the filmmakers were intent on taking to the same relational destination found in the anime, but without providing the same focused development leading up to it. With all that said, the 2017 Ghost in the Shell was fine. I just wish that the filmmakers had gifted us, the viewer, with a film that was as cerebral and challenging as the original source material, pushing us to not only marvel at something on screen, but also reflect on who we are and what makes us human. And for all these reasons, I will give the film a 2.5 out of 5. I would still love to know what you guys thought of the film though, so definitely comment below and let me know. And do you guys have a favorite animation to live action adaptation? I think for me, it might actually be the Wachowskis' Speed Racer. I really like that film quite a lot. Finally, please do subscribe. I'm going to continue to review films and television on this channel, and I would love for you to stay up to date on all of those things. But for now, I'm Chris Hartwell. This is The Heartbeat. Thank you for joining me.